A woman says she went to a Diddy party and realized that she actually was on the menu. She almost went to Cuba? The hell?
Pascal, you are now rocking with that dude Pascal.
What's up, y'all? A woman by the name of Tenia went onto a YouTube channel by the name of Soft White Underbelly and put out some very, very unbelievable things, talking about things that are connected to Diddy, being at a Diddy freak off party and all that stuff. It is pretty insane, the information that she says, but it's very spot on. Now, she's been on this show for a long time. She's been on it many, many times for many, many years, and has talked about various inklings of her experiences going to a Diddy freak off, and then also having to deal with a prince and almost getting ST'd to Cuba. Okay, got to use these code words, and how she was basically held against her will and had to escape a Diddy party. Now, again, the thing I keep wondering is, because she talks about this prince and he flies her over there. And then, of course, he's like, oh, you're going to have a great time in Cuba. We're going to Cuba with a bunch of other girls. And these other girls are sitting there going like, I don't want anything to do with this. I want to go back home. I got things to do. I got kids. I got whatever, right? What's interesting, though, is like this guy seems to be the person who is either pimping them out for Diddy or for somebody else. It's pretty wild and pretty crazy. But again, this is something that she has talked about years ago. So, like, for example, this video right here is a video in an interview that she talks about this Diddy party going to it, but she only sprinkles a little bit of information. She doesn't go into full detail, but she did this one a few years ago, okay? And talks about an experience that she had in 2019. But then now there's even a more new recent video that she put out where she goes into more detail. It is so wild. It is so descriptive. It is so disturbing. And how she gets lucky by finding a way to escape the situation is mind-blowing. So we got two videos we're going to be looking at. Of course, we got to take a look at these things. This is the one from 2022. Allegedly, this whole party happened in 2019. It is pretty wild. So let's take a look at this video, shall we?
I got myself into a situation where I was about to get trafficked. And this was like 3 years ago. And I was just like, it was a close one. You know, I came up on this prince and he was Arabian and he flew me to Miami and he said I was going to be there for 2 weeks. We were in a $30 million house and I ended up being there for a month.
Now, first off, this was a couple years ago, 3 years ago. This video was recorded in 2022, if I'm correct. So 2019 is when this whole thing went down. But interesting that she says she went to a $20 million house in Miami. I mean, fill in the blank. All right. Obviously, she goes into more detail in a more recent video interview that she did. But clearly, you know who she's talking about. All right. But she's brought in by this prince. She gets flown out by this prince, y'all.
And I had to escape, okay? And we were meeting so many girls, and girls from Love and Hip Hop was coming in the house, and celebrities was there. And
girls from Love and Hip Hop were there too. Okay, I'm wondering who they are.
all of this stuff, but it started to get real weird. You know, it was a lot of, and like, I don't do hard drugs like that. Like, I was smoking weed, you know, and they were doing hard drugs and stuff, and it was just like, it was getting, like, my gut was telling me something bad is about to happen.
Hey, doesn't this sound familiar? It sounds a bit familiar, right?
But he was trying to, like, distract us with buying this stuff. We was going shopping and doing all these things, and for some reason, I felt like I'm used to getting shit. But like this right here, where am I about to be tomorrow? And why are we still here? So then he says, well, we're going to go to Cuba. So the girls start talking in the house and they're like, girl, I got to get back home. And he said that I can't leave. And I'm like, well, what is he going to do with us? Then, you know, we went to some celebrity's house and we ended up at P. Diddy's house. And I just started hearing conversations and I just got trafficking from it. Because, you know, I heard the prince saying something like, oh, you can have whoever you want. Like he was like selling us, you know? So I'm like, is this sex trafficking? Like, what the? And it gave me a whole nother outlook on everything too. And I had to like really like pump my brakes on how I do things. And maybe because a week before that, I had just said like, I want to be in Miami. I want to be around royalty. I want a nigga to spend this much amount. And I realized everything that I said that I wanted, it came like the next week, but it didn't come how I wanted it to. And I don't like nobody saying I can't leave, you know?
Now, I will also say that, okay, of course, she says that she is a sugar baby. She, you know, of course, you know, is taken care of by a certain, she, you know, working type of stuff. But this is a very interesting situation no matter what. She's down there. They were there for a couple days. She's sitting there going like, when are they going to let us like leave? Because you're just having us stay here while, you know, and having plans on taking us across, like out of the country to go to Cuba. Something's up here, right? That's a bit weird, right? And yeah, that's ST in like a mug, if you ask me.
When I want to, like if I got to get back to LA, handle some business, I'm a mother. Like, what you mean I can't leave? So
Your kids?
Yeah, yes.
How many kids?
5 kids.
You have 5 kids?
Yes.
So you need money to take care of them. Are you raising your kids?
Oh yeah, I'm raising my kids. They're all with me. But at a point in time, I'm gonna keep it real. They wasn't. You know what I'm saying? They are now. They wasn't. It was always at my grandma's house, at my mom's house, because I had shit to do. And I was in the music. You know, I was singing with YG at that time, and I had been for like a long time. But in and out of that, the music wasn't paying, so I really had to finesse. And I would be meeting like people in the industry, and I'd be finessing them too. You know. But I made sure with them, we would have like relations, but I wouldn't like have sex with them because I didn't want it like coming up like, oh, you fucked that producer, or oh, you did that, right? So I was real low key, but they understood like, you know, you got mouths to feed.
So now this video just came out 4 days ago. Okay, it's gotten millions of views. People are definitely watching this, but it's very interesting to hear more details and more description on, you know, more details of what she experienced, right? So let's take a look at this. This one's very interesting too. Much more detailed. Let's take a look.
It had like a lot of people involved, celebrities and stuff. So I was trying to be real vague about it, but that party traumatized me.
How'd you get invited to it?
By being with a prince that I met in LA. He lived in Glendale. And, you know, long story short, I got out of this crazy little contract and I was looking for somebody to invest in me. And I knew somebody who knew somebody that was like, I want to introduce you to a prince. He know a lot of celebrities, producers and stuff. So I never put 2 and 2 together that this prince knew P. Diddy as
you
a
say
producer.
Prince of what?
He was a Arabian prince.
Really?
Yes. Oh. And he really was a prince for real. But I wasn't worried about him being a prince. I was worried about who he actually knew. So when he invited me to, he met me, he said, I want to invite you tomorrow to Music Ultra Week, whatever. And it's like an event, Ultra Music Week. It's like an event for like 2 weeks where people party, including P. Diddy. And they party at Club Live. They party at like just in South Beach, Star Island, like where P. Diddy stays or throw his freak offs at. And I never knew that we were going to go there because I was there for 2 weeks and I knew it was something fishy. He kept saying, I got a surprise for you. I'm like, but I'm only supposed to stay for 2 weeks and I'm here longer than 2 weeks. And it was almost a month. It was basically a month by then. And he was like, no, because I just want you to meet one special person. So he ended up telling me, like, when we went to Club Live, he was like, guess where we're going tonight? I'm like, where? He's like, to P. Diddy's house. I'm like, oh, really? I'm like, that's crazy because I hear a lot about P. Diddy. And I'm like, his house for what? Like to go sing? He's like, no, he's throwing this wild party. I'm like, oh, okay. So we went from Club Live. It ended at like, the clubs ended at like 3 or 4, not 2, like how out here is. So we waited around the mansion, the Prince's mansion, for about an hour. And then as soon as 6:30 hit, we all got in the car, like a big Uber, and me and all the other girls. Now, mind you, I'm the only black girl. So I'm like, oh yeah, you know, I'm about to meet P. Diddy. Oh, you know, like I'm probably gonna have to sing for him. And I just tried to like keep my composure. So we get there and
well, first off, she got receipts. Woo! She got receipts. She got video. Well, there's video in a car. Let's see if there's more. I don't know if there's more, but there's some interesting stuff that she says in here. Okay. And of course, we're going to be jumping through a few things. So let's rock and roll.
That's when stuff got weird. And that's why they lock up our phones, because they know what we see in there. You know, it's he can get in trouble. Like
they lock up their phones
right now. So basically, we arrived, security guard patted us down. They put our phone in this little bubble case. So the bubble case is closed. They can't get unlocked until we walk out. So as we're in there, the only way of us taking any type of pictures is if we get in the photo booth. He has like a Team Love photo booth or whatever. Take like 4 pictures. So I, you know, got pictures. I still got everything in my Snap too, like the photos,
damn.
everything. That's all you could get. So
That's
I'm walking
crazy.
around or whatever. So one of his sons, I'm not going to say which one, but it was like recruiting like whoever they wanted to go inside the house, because the freak off is inside the house and in the backyard.
Hold on. So one of the sons is involved in like, yeah, you can come in here. You can go into the, okay. Nah, I know somebody's going to like you. So you can go into the living room. You just go out in the back. Okay. Enjoy the party. Enjoy the drinks. We'll see you over there. But you make sure you go into this room right here. That's crazy. So one of the sons was actually picking and choosing, recruiting basically. Okay. Casting these types of parties, right? These freak offs, maybe. Let's continue.
So you have the pool, and they're playing loud house music. Like Mark, the house music it makes you feel kind of woozy, first of all, because it's like a rave or something. Dun, 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 and it's real loud. So you can't really see nothing, but you're seeing everybody like walking around, drunk, hopping around. It's still 7 a.m. So the sun is like coming up and people are walking around naked, period. Let's get into it. They're walking around naked already.
Hi, Chihuahua.
And they're in the pool, skinny dipping. And they're drinking mimosas in the pool, but then it's like a waitress walking around giving people drinks, just passing people drinks, you know, and people are just taking them. Me, I don't drink like that, but I'm like an occasional drinker. Like I'll drink if we're partying or whatever, just for that occasion. So, because people are going to keep saying drink, drink, drink. But I didn't take a drink yet. But I just had it in my hand. So one of the sons seen me walking, mind you, I'm with other girls, but we split up. So I was walking with one girl. She's a Puerto Rican girl. So P. Diddy's son was like, you. And I'm like, me or her? And then he was like, no, you. Come here. So I went to him and he gave me some shoes. So these shoes was like some terry cloth, like robe shoes, white shoes. And I'm like, what am I supposed to do with these? He was like, go in the house with these. He was like, everybody who gets these shoes, you get to go in the house.
So you got access. She got access to go inside the house. Okay. Access to get inside the mother loving house because she got those shoes. If you got those shoes, could that mean that you're invited to be a part of this freak off? I don't know, but it is very telling. You can get inside, but you stay outside. That's very interesting, right?
But I'm thinking you could just go in the house if you want to, but everybody can't go in the house. They're literally selectively picking who they want. So I'm like, well, what about my friend? He was like, no, only you. I'm like, okay, cool. I'm holding the shoes. I'm walking around. You know, I'm a good loyal friend. I'm not going to go inside a house where they say my friend can't go. So we just walking around mingling. But we tripping out, looking at everybody like they off, everything smoking and jumping around like hooligans. And so I seen P. Diddy or whatever, and I seen him with the Prince. I'm not going to say what he was doing, but something really, I get real nervous. Something real crazy because I don't like to really expose people. I could talk about me, but when it's about like me and my family, because it's us. But when it's other people, bro, doing something real sexual, that's all I'm going to say.
Yikes.
So that we can see and so that we can get turned on. Okay. So he's doing something with himself.
Okay. Man on man, and trying to turn the ladies on by getting all freaky deaky with the Prince. That's interesting.
And I'm like, girl, do you see him? She's like, yes. But mind you, we're screaming like, girl, do you see him? Oh my God. Because of the music. And I'm just like, whatever. Then he starts to act like really obnoxious. Like, I'm the king of the world, jumping around, doing all this stuff. So I'm like, okay, that's regular P. Diddy shit. But what got me was how he walked up to me and was like, why are you not in the house? And I'm like, what do you mean? He's like, how are you enjoying my house? So we had a little talk or whatever. He started talking about all these things. Oh yeah, you're the one that, you know, I seen was telling me about the Prince. He's like, oh yeah, it's very nice to meet you. Like your life is not going to be the same. We started talking about going to Cuba. Are you going to Cuba with us? I'm like, what? And that's the thing. I didn't really know about this. So this is when I start asking around or whatever. And I said that in the last interview. But to get to the point, I ended up going in the house because he was on me like, go in that house. I'm like, okay. And then the person that he was dating at that time, we're not going to say her name, but we all know, she came and was like looking at him like, what are you doing? Because he was talking to me for too long. So she came to like rub on his shoulders or whatever. And he just pushed her. And I'm looking.
Whoa. Could that be Young Miami? Maybe. Yeah, I think it would be Young Miami, right? Around that time. Timeline, you know what I mean? This is like 2019. So yeah, it had to have been, right? But maybe I'm wrong. Somebody in the comments, let me know. Okay, maybe I got it all wrong. But she's definitely lingering in my head. It has been lingering in my head for a minute now. But he pushed her off, yo, because he was busy trying to holla. Okay, but I'm gonna play a little bit more of this, and we're gonna jump up a little bit.
I'm like real uncomfortable. Like, oh, I know what this is about. I don't want to be in the middle of there, whatever. So that's what made me go into the house because I'm like, okay, let me just go in the house. So I told my friend, like, wait right here, girl. Let me just put on these shoes, see what this house is about. Walk up in there. I don't judge people because at the time I was just smoking weed. But you know when people are out of their mind and you know when people, you know what you don't want to be a part of. And it's just like I'm seeing stuff that you see on the movies. This corner, this got going on. This corner, they over here doing this. This corner, they over there having sex. This corner, I'm just going to say, because I don't know what I can say because I'm not trying to be incriminating myself, but they were dressed up like little Harajuku Barbies.
Like what?
Little people. Okay. We're not going to say what type of little people, but like a fetish. And I'm looking like, what are.
Whoa. Who are the little people though? Who is she talking about though? Littles or little? You get what I'm saying. But that is a very, very hardcore claim. Let's keep it a buck.
They doing here? Like dressed up, little red lipstick. Like they weren't supposed to be there.
Oh no. So you know exactly who that is or what demographic that is. You get what I'm saying? I'm sorry. I don't use this sound effect very much on this platform, on this channel, but I gotta use it. Woo! That's no bueno. Oh, cabron. Okay, let's go. At the parties though. So she's saying she's seen it. She's seen it with her own 2 eyes, guys. That's crazy. Dressed up in a specific thematic way, if you will. That is terrifying.
But I'm just looking like maybe it's some type of production going on. But why would they be at this party at 7 o'clock in the morning with grown people? Like, why,
No doubt.
why would they be here? So I just like, okay, whatever. Like, but then when I'm looking in this corner, this person laid out, and I'm looking like, what's going on? Then I'm seeing like Instagram models or whatever. I'm like, oh, hey. So I'm kind of getting distracted, feeling like kind of comfortable. Like, she's here. Oh my gosh, she's here. And then I see P. Diddy, walking through the house, like with his eyes on me. Like, like.
That's crazy. We're going to scoot up though.
All the songs I ever made in my life. I said, so I know when somebody is trying to lead you on to stuff and sitting back acting like he's just this macho man, and he is a charmer though. That's one thing. Like, he will charm the fuck out of you. But for me, that's so game tight. I'm like, I know what this is, and I'm ready to get to the music. Like, if that's the case, you should have been like, don't tell me you about to change my life and da-da-da. And, oh, have you been writing? Oh, that's nothing too. He was like, have you been writing the songs that I seen been telling you to write? Because the Prince wanted me to write out all the songs I ever made in my life. I said,
that's wild.
Without the beat? He's like, yeah, just start writing songs. So you never know. They'll take my music, drug me, fuck me, do whatever, and just throw me away. Basically, or after you have something on me, when we do the music, you have that on me that this happened, and now I'm blackmailed or some shit like that.
Yeah, and that's the other thing too. It's like, she might write something that's really, really good, and they're like, hey, that's a great idea. Let's take that song and give it to Young Miami, or let's give it to our latest, our newest, hottest, youngest starlet that we got, right? And not give her any credit and all that stuff. So that is a possibility. I mean, that is possible, right? But I'm going to continue on here though.
It was a certain type of person. It was a certain type of something that he wanted and what he liked. And you could just tell like he get whatever he wants. That's why he has no problem touching on you, being all in your face, popping up on you, being obnoxious, and just hounding you until you do what he say. And that's just how the industry is already, especially him, because he got a lot of money,
Because you're a singer as well, right?
Yeah. So they probably like, do you want this opportunity or what? And I'm like, not that damn bad, but I do want it. I do. But if I already got a bad vibe and I'm seeing stuff that you're into, I already know how this is going to be. So I don't want to ignore some red flags and then I'll be in trouble because of you. Like, literally in trouble. Like, we know his past, like Shine, the rapper, being in jail because of him. Like, don't think just because I'm from where I'm from,
no doubt,
you could just do anything. And that's why I never really said nothing about it, because I just felt like, who am I? He got money. Like, ain't nobody going to believe me. But I have all the receipts. I have it all in my Snap to this day. It never went nowhere. That was just my experience just being in Miami for the first time. I didn't know that I was going to end up at P. Diddy's house.
Did you take photos outside the house?
When I got my phone back, yeah.
Videos or something?
I took videos when I was going to the house before I knew this was some weird shit. And then when I got my phone, I ended up recording. And then I had the shoes on.
Oh, you had the shoes?
I left with the shoes on because I don't know where I put my shoes at when I put those on. And it was a lot going on. It was real loud. So I don't know.
I mean, this is the moment where it's like, thank God she doesn't drink like that. Thank God she didn't partake in any harder substances other than the devil's lettuce, if you will. I mean, she should be counting her lucky stars that she was able to get away from this situation without a scratch, if you will. Because we've heard other cases and other situations that ended up completely differently than hers.
It just tripped me out. And I was like, is he gay? And nothing against gays. I couldn't put my finger. I was like, what is this dude into? But his house, his freak off. No, not like that. I'm going to make everything to a joke, but this is a real serious situation because it'll traumatize you, because now I ain't trusting no producer. I look at everybody like, if I went to the top of the top and I've been looking at him like this top-notch mogul and like whatever. But child, it's a lot. But it's some stuff, that I did leave out because I don't want to say too much. But because I told you there was some celebrities in there. But
some celebrities were there too. Damn.
For these girls that did get drugged and did take these drinks, I feel like it's because everybody was all having fun. You wouldn't think that somebody would do something like that to you until you get to seeing everything. And once you're intoxicated, it's too late. It's just too late. So that's why you got to watch what drinks you take. And they was just pushing them on us too much. Take a drink, take a drink, take a drink. And I'm like, no. Because I was already, sipping a little bit at Club Live. So I wanted to mind you, I'm thinking he going to ask me to sing in a minute. I don't want to be toe up, until I put two and two together. And then I'm like, yeah, I'm glad I didn't.
I'm glad you got out and survived.
Yep. I'm always surviving. This is no joke.
You're a survivor.
For real. And it's like, I'm still going through stuff. You don't survive being traumatized. And these things do traumatize you because it's like, dang, I can't never get around this. I could always end up to this, sex or some creep shit or somebody taking advantage of you or something or feeling all on you. You can't do nothing because
you thought the streets were dangerous.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying.
So this is very interesting, guys. I mean, nonetheless, this is a very wild story. But now, because of everything we have been hearing about Diddy, I mean, we just heard a mind-blowing lawsuit that dropped late last night. Now we're looking at this and going, okay, it's possible. It's so possible for this ish to go down, right? It's so possible now. So it's interesting when you look at something that she's been saying for the last couple years. Now it's coming back, right? And we're hearing that on a lot of other cases, revolving around Diddy, to be exact. That some of these rumors, some of these people who have been speaking out for decades now are all coming forward again and saying, hey, I've been telling y'all this. I've been telling you guys this stuff and what's been going on. It's not a rumor. It is not just some crazy urban legend. It is actually true. And now we're looking at and listening to Tenia here and really taking it seriously because, again, she got really lucky, y'all. She could have lost her life. She could have been in Cuba still to this day, held against her will, and God knows what. Pretty crazy stuff. Now, did she see any other crimes aside from her being possibly ST'd, to people consuming illegal substances? No, that's not what she says here. But at the same time, I mean, maybe there were some crimes that were actually happening in that place against men and women that are stepping forward right now that she may be witness to. You never know. But nonetheless, she should count her lucky stars that she got out of there by the skin of her teeth, that she was able to escape without any devastating repercussions, right? Without being caught and having something really bad happen to her. It's pretty crazy, guys. And it is frustrating and wild that it's suddenly there's this need that it's almost like a rite of passage, which is a demented rite of passage that if you want to be a star, you have to give it up. That's sad. Instead of it just being talent, it's what are you willing to do to get a shot at the brass ring? It's scary. But of course, people like herself and others will sit there and go, hey, I'm bigger than that. I'm better than that, and walk away. Some will do everything they can because, one, of desperation, two, because of financial status, three, just because they want it so bad they can taste it. It's sad and scary. And it does make you wonder, with all the stars that are out here, it does make you wonder how many of them have done what some of these people are saying that they did, what they went through, just so that they can be on the silver screen, just so that they can be a household name. It's definitely something to think about. But anyway, guys, that's the video. Comment down below. Also, the other thing I thought was interesting is how he was screaming, I'm the king of the world. That's what she said. He was being all obnoxious and he was just, he was hype. He's being Diddy. You know how it is. Okay. He's like, anything I want, I get. Those things he does. He gets really crazy and gets really, really passionate, right? And he's sitting there screaming, I'm the king of the world. Who usually said that? Who's known of saying that, guys? Leonardo DiCaprio. I'm sorry. Sneezing a little bit. Got sniffed something weird. I don't know what happened here. Maybe some dust in the room. But anyway, comment down below. Let me know what your thoughts are. Hit that like button down below. Crush that subscribe button. All right. Hit that follow button if you're watching on other platforms. It'd be great to have you a part of the Pascal Show family. Anyway, it's time to get going. Just so you guys know, there's other videos. There's so much more. We're going to be looking at taking a lot of trip down memory lanes here. Okay, so get ready because we got some things to talk about. Anyway, it's time to get going. Be good to yourselves. Be good to one another. We'll talk soon. This is the Pascal Show. Bye.
Pascal, you are now rocking with that dude Pascal. We be going wild.